This is the video about Maya starting on page 584. The Maya lived in what are today Honduras, Guatemala, Belize, and the Yucatan Peninsula in Mexico. Like the Zapotecs, the Maya learned from the Olmecs. The earliest Maya cities developed at the time of the Olmecs. Between about AD 250 and 850, the Maya built great cities and made advances in science and art. Maya cities. Archaeologists have learned much about the Maya by studying Maya cities such as Tikal, Palenque, and Copan. These cities had hundreds of buildings, including stone pyramids, temples, and palaces. In Maya cities, large paved plazas were gathering places. Causeways or raised roads connected these plazas. Most Maya people, however, did not live in the center of a city near the major temples and palaces. Instead, most live in farming villages surrounding a city. Maya society. The Maya had complex societies. The three main groups were nobles, a middle class, and commoners. The nobles were people born into powerful families. They included the king, high officials, and priests. Historians think that the nobles controlled the best land and the farmers who worked on it. Most Maya were commoners who raised crops. Men worked in the fields and on the village buildings. Women raised children, tended gardens, and farmed animals and cooked food. They also wove cloth and made pottery. Lower-ranking lords and higher-ranking commoners formed a kind of middle class. Some were minor officials, soldiers, and scribes. Others were skilled craft workers who served the nobles. The basic social unit in Maya society was extended families. Extended families often included an older couple, their children, and their grandchildren. Extended families often lived in a group of simple houses around a central patio. On days of major ceremonies, people gathered in cities for religious festivals. There, they saw great stone pyramids and temples and palaces of the nobles. Farming. Nobles controlled large plots where corn was grown. Most families also had small plots of their own, where they grew fruit, beans, and other vegetables, and raised turkeys and ducks. The production of food on farms was at the center of the Maya economy. Like the Olmecs, the Maya used slash-and-burn agriculture in the heavily forested lowlands. Near the cities, they also fertilized fields so that they could use them year after year. On the Yucatan Peninsula, there are few rivers, so the Maya got their water from sinkholes or deep pits in the ground. They also built cisterns or tanks to hold rainwater. Trade. Traveling merchants linked Maya cities together in a large trade network. Merchants traveled on footpaths or by canoe along the coast. Merchants traded the natural resources of different Maya regions. Traders from farming villages traded food, cotton, and cacao beans used to make chocolate. Those from the highlands traded obsidian, jade, and feathers from the quetzal, a colorful tropical bird. Traders from the coast brought salt, dried fish, and pearls. In fact, salt was used as a currency, like money, in Tikal and other Maya cities. Maya government. The Maya region contained dozens of independent city-states. Each Maya city-state had its own king. Usually the kingship passed from a father to his son. Nobles helped run the government. Maya kings increased their power through warfare. Maya cities went to war to take captives. They also fought over control of trade routes and land. Maya religion. The Maya were deeply religious people who worshipped many gods. Most of these gods represented forces of nature, such as rain and lightning. Forces of nature often played a part in Maya myths, such as this creation myth. First, the earth was formed. The mountains and the valleys, the currents of water were divided. The rivulets, or streams, were running freely between the hills, and the water was separated when the mountains appeared. The Maya believed that their priests and kings could communicate with the gods through religious rituals. Priests and kings performed many of these rituals in temples atop pyramids. Temples were built on pyramids so that they could be closer to the gods in heaven. Also, the towering pyramids were meant to show the power of the priests and kings. Many Maya nobles were priests. Only nobles could become priests. Most kings served as priests before becoming king. Maya commoners feared displeasing priests or kings because they believed that their leaders could call on the gods to punish them. The most startling Maya ritual were human sacrifice and bloodletting. People killed People killed included prisoners of war, slaves, and even children. Priests would cut themselves and sacrifice their own blood. The Maya believed that these sacrifices were part of the natural cycle of death and rebirth. They saw it as a way to keep the gods satisfied and the universe in balance. The fall of the Maya. Between 800 and 1000 AD, many great Maya cities fell into ruin. Warfare was one cause. Drought may also cause food shortages. Drought is a prolonged period of little or no rainfall. Smaller Maya cities lasted another 600 years in the northern Yucatan Peninsula. These Maya traded with people such as the Aztecs. The Spanish conquered the Maya in the early 1500s, but the Maya people and language survive to this day. Maya achievements. At their height, the Maya made many important achievements. They developed a complex writing system, created impressive works of art, and made important discoveries in astronomy and mathematics. Many of these achievements influenced other civilizations in Mesoamerica. Maya culture has also had a lasting influence on the cultures of Mexico and Central America. Writing. The Maya developed the most advanced writing system in ancient Americas. This system used hieroglyphics. A hieroglyphic, also known as a glyph, is a symbol that stands for a word. Stands for a word, idea, or sound. The Maya could combine 800 individual glyphs to form any word in their language. Writing enabled the Maya to preserve information that would otherwise be lost. Maya books recorded Maya learning and beliefs. The Spanish destroyed most of them, but scholars have learned much from the few that survive. Carved glyphs have also been preserved on stone monuments called stelae. These carvings celebrate rulers and their deeds. Unfortunately, they reveal little about daily life. Astronomy. The Maya were excellent astronomers. Although they had no telescopes, they plotted the movements of the sun, moon, and planets. They used this information to predict events such as eclipses of the sun and moon. Maya astronomers developed a complex system of calendars. They used a 260-day religious calendar and a 365-day solar calendar. The Maya used these calendars to plan religious festivals and seasonal farming tasks. They also used a 394-year calendar for historical dates. Mathematics. The Maya also developed an advanced system of numerals. This system, unlike the Europeans at the time, included a numeral for zero. Zeros made calculation easier. Architecture and art. The Maya created impressive architecture and art. All Maya cities contained pyramids, temples, and palaces. Pyramids, the largest building, rose hundreds of feet into the air. All had temples at the top. The Maya also built observatories, or buildings for observing the sky. Maya astronomers used observatories to follow the paths of the sun, moon, and other objects in the sky. Maya temples, palaces, observatories, and plazas were made of large stone blocks. To build with such heavy materials must have been extremely difficult. The Maya had no horses or oxen and no wheeled vehicles to help them haul the stone. They also lacked metal tools, so they had to cut the blocks using stone tools. Laborers then used their own strength to move the blocks into place. Today, most Maya buildings are just plain gray stone structures, but when they were built, they had elaborate decorations. Sculptures of kings, gods, jaguars, and other figures lined the walls. The buildings were also painted bright blue, green, yellow, and red. Maya artists painted colorful murals on the walls of the temples and palaces. Artists also created fine pottery. They crafted jewelry and masks from jade and pearls. Historians appreciate the art of the Maya stelae. These stone slabs are carved with writing about Maya history. They are monuments to the glory of the Maya civilization.